What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here, keeping you up to date with the latest Destiny 2 news. And today we have a couple of very interesting Destiny 2 topics to cover. And so, let's dive right into it. Firstly, we have news about the Destiny 2 Alpha. Now, this is very interesting because Destiny 1 had an alpha. Well, it didn't just have an alpha, most games have an alpha. The Destiny 1 alpha was playable. Like, I played the Destiny 1 alpha. I captured gameplay, and I uploaded said captured gameplay. That is a big deal. Not many alphas will let you do that. And of course, I'm sure you guys would like to see Destiny 2 gameplay coming from an alpha. Well, unfortunately, we got the first official word on what is really going on here with the Destiny 2 alpha, and it's not great. This comes from Eric Osborne, who is a Bungie developer, and he says alpha is internal / private, y'all. So that is definitely not some good news. Now, private is not the end of the world. Private just means you need to get invited to this alpha. I believe even the Destiny 1 alpha was a closed alpha. Not anyone could join. You had to apply via an email process, I believe. But the word internal is a big deal. Internal means it's within Bungie. And so that means you're very unlikely to see any YouTubers, any news sources, any of those people getting their hands on this alpha. Likely the people who are going to play it is only going to be Bungie. And that is quite unfortunate. So, if you're one of the people who, even in the back of my mind was kind of wondering, is there going to be an alpha? Is there a way to get into this alpha in any capacity? It looks like the answer is no. So that should kind of be the nail in the coffin to that argument, to that line of questioning. And so the next thing we have to look forward to is really just the beta, and that is it. Now moving on, the next topic we're going to cover is the accidental reveal of some very interesting Destiny 2 story elements. Now this all comes from a tweet, a now deleted tweet from the official Destiny the Game Twitter. So this isn't a fan page, this is the official Twitter, so Bungie is in charge of this. Now this is the tweet in question. It shows a GIF that we're going to talk about in a bit, don't worry, but it says, "So much loot to find, so little time. Skip the commute and hop straight from planet to planet without having to go into orbit in Destiny 2. So that's just talking about a new feature of the game. There's going to be no orbit screen. You don't have to go to orbit all the time. You can just go from planet to planet. And in the new world map that we were introduced to that Destiny 1 doesn't have, it really looks like the directory is here. You can see this up in the top corner. We have the symbol for strikes. We have the symbol for the Crucible now, the new symbol. We have the symbol for raids. So the new directory, the new quick travel menu is just going to be available right on the planet. So you can go to strikes right from anywhere on the planet by bringing up the map, which is something pretty damn cool. Now again, the very interesting part is the GIF, and it shows very clearly two suns, like two different stars doing something weird in the background. Now again, this was deleted. You cannot go back to the Destiny the Game Twitter and look at this GIF again. So clearly it reveals something at least a little bit important. Now, I actually ended up making a video on this last night, but I got a few things wrong. I wasn't happy with the quality of the video, so I ended up privating it. Yes, even I get things wrong. I pronounce Nvidia wrong, or however it's actually pronounced. I'm sorry about that. Some guy yesterday got mad at me for showcasing that sale, that insane Walmart sale for $30 off, because it wasn't actually advertised as a sale, and I said it was a sale. So he got mad at me, even though when a game is $30 off, that's considered a sale. I didn't think I would have to explain that. But anyways, today we're talking about this because, again, it reveals some really interesting stuff. My theory, and again, this is just my theory. We're going to go into what it probably actually is in a bit. My theory was that this is potentially showing a different solar system. We only have one star, the sun, in our solar system. We don't have two, pretty clearly. And unless the Cabal split the sun in half, which again we're going to talk about in a sec, this wouldn't be our solar system. The closest solar system to our own is called Alpha Centauri. It has, get this, a binary star system. It actually has 3 stars in it, a small red dwarf, and then the binary star. So that's 2 stars so close together, they're essentially orbiting each other. What does this GIF show? 2 stars, very close to each other. Of course, in real life, the binary star system is much further apart, but you could expect Bungie to take some creative liberties, definitely when designing this. Now, interstellar travel is definitely possible within Destiny. Heck, all of our enemies, the Cabal, the Hive, the Vex, the Fallen, even the Traveler, all came from beyond our solar system. So why can't we go to other solar systems? I don't think it's that ridiculous, and it may be what is being shown here, and if it is, that's incredibly interesting. However, what is a lot more likely is that, and equally interesting I think, is that this is actually the result of the Cabal Star Destroyer. We see in the trailer the Cabal doing something to a star, and even blowing up a star. Now, that blowing up of a star, of course, that's probably not very good, right? If that's our sun blowing up, we've lost. Like, there's no coming back from that once you have no sun. Like, you can't just turn on a bunch of lights. Things are gonna get pretty dismal. And so, what is that sun? What is that star blowing up? Well, it could easily be, a cutscene if we lose. Like, if we have a timed mission and we lose, that happens. So that is possible. It could also be a showcase of what the Cabal have done to another solar system. Maybe we do travel to another solar system, have a couple of missions fighting the Cabal and kind of fail, and we get to see what happens if we fail in our own solar system because the Cabal blow up the star in that solar system. That's very interesting. But what again seems to be a little bit more likely is that this is the result of that Cabal machine interacting with our sun in the trailer. We see it shooting a laser into the sun and almost building some kind of object with the debris or with the material it's getting from that laser. At least it looks like, behind that machine. There's the machine, there's this cracked, planetoid object, and then there's the sun. And so clearly there's some sort of interaction going on with those 3 devices. This GIF showing off essentially 2 suns could be what happens later in the game, is that this cracked planetoid basically starts to form maybe another sun, and the Cabal are splitting the sun in half for the purpose of maybe one, generating energy. Maybe this generates like a crap ton of energy that they can use in their war with us. Maybe this is their plan to destroy the sun. Splitting it in half eventually causes it to explode. Like maybe that's how they cause the sun to explode. That seems a little bit weird. We don't actually know what is going on, but it does seem like this is a result of the Cabal's interaction with our sun in our solar system. That's a little bit more likely than being able to go to another solar system. Although, it would still be really cool to go to another solar system. And guys, I've gotta say, this whole topic of discussion shows just how formidable of an enemy the Cabal are in Destiny. Like, we're talking about them splitting a sun in half. That is insane. One of the first things your ghost says to you when you go to Mars is that the Cabal blow up planets and moons just for being in their way. The Cabal are no joke, and it's going to be really interesting to actually face them as the featured enemy in Destiny 2. Now keep in mind, there's actually gameplay showcasing Guardians fighting on this Cabal star-destroying machine, or star-sucking machine, whatever it actually is. You can see that we are fighting on top of it, and the laser is shooting in the background. So that is really cool. Maybe there's a strike, maybe there's a mission, maybe there's whatever to actually go and turn off this machine. Likely, that's going to be of key importance within the Destiny 2 storyline. Perhaps even this acts like the Dreadnought, in which case it's another explorable area where you get to go down in patrol mode potentially and do missions and stuff. That would be really, really cool. And then Bungie hasn't announced it yet because they're kind of keeping it secret. And so guys, that's it for the Destiny 2 news today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative. Now if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content, be sure to slap that subscribe button. And if you actually want the subscribe button to do anything, make sure to press the bell beside subscribe. Now if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.